All right, what up? I figured I'd take a break from my 97 degree all-day shirtless Sn95 dance-a-thon in the garage and do a quick little video talking about this here coyote motor and trying to put it into my 98 model Ford garbage truck. Just kind of walk you through what we got so far and show you guys how to do things stupid, and while you're watching it you can be like, oh man, don't do that, that's really dumb, but it'll be too late because by the time you see the video the damage is done. Anyway, so yeah, so what we got so far, it's a 98 GT for those that don't know. I've had this car forever. I actually pulled the 2-valve out of it because it sounded like a old diesel tractor, because the headers leaked really bad and I was lazy and didn't fix it forever, and it just compiled and, you know, ended up being bad. So I yanked her out and was gonna do cams and stuff, and I got to looking at everything and I was like, man, you know, why do all this for 300 wheel? So I picked this up from buddy Joey, and I had Troy slap some Mustang cams in it. It's a Gen 1 truck motor. It's a 13 model. It had a coyote tick. It had a couple of lash adjusters down we found, and a bunch of water in the pan. But you know, everything looked good. It checked out good. Troy checked it over good. Put Mustang cams in it, Boss valve springs, and Boundary oil pump gears. I'm still going to do some autocross with the car, so I plan on giving her some rims, some RPMs. I've got some BBK swap headers for it. I've got me one of them tubey guy things there to put under the bottom of the front end, and I got a pile of parts in the back. I have mostly everything so far. Big issues I've ran into so far have mostly been my own stupidity, frankly. The big one that we've done thus far has been crankshaft flywheel bolts. I put my pinion bearing in, was going to put the clutch together and stuff last night or the night before or something, and this one I marked it so I know to not torque it all the way and we'll Loctite it. But I'll show you what happened actually. These flywheel bolts, which the car was a stick, you know, before, so they have different length flywheel bolts for the flex plate versus a flywheel. But the flywheel bolts, they pulled all the threads off the bolts, and luckily not much material came out of the crankshaft, so I was able to just chase all my threads. I didn't have to helicoil it. That one that I marked was the worst of all of them. But don't buy this piece of hot garbage Amazon torque wrench. It's now cost me 2 major engine problems because it's hot trash. Also though, I think what I might have ran into, which I don't know how I can really show this on video really well, but let me set these up here, hold on. So if you set these bolts up, you can see that my old garbage is substantially taller, but the head's a lot thicker too. But when you line these heads up, the crown of this bolt sticks up a little higher, and these ARPs don't have a crown. So I think, and if you can get this to focus, the edge I think was running into the end of the crank, at the end of the hole, and either that's the case or it's just the torque wrench. But regardless, if you're going to be doing one of these swaps, I would incredibly strongly recommend just buying the right bolts and not just doing what the internet says, because you know, almost thought I was gonna have to put a crank in this engine, which really ticked me off, but it's all right, man. Everything's cool. All the threads basically chased out pretty good. I'm still scared of the bolt was just spinning freely in the bore, so I don't know. If it doesn't torque down right, I'll just helicoil it, and if that doesn't work, I'll put a crankshaft in it, I guess. I don't know. You know, what do you do? So I'm pretty happy with these headers. They seem pretty sweet. I was going to put the trans on, and then my other side of my starter, and the mounted K-member and I'll just slide the whole bad boy up under there. What I've done so far, I got the car like sitting on a dolly from Harbor Freight. It's like a $15 or some crap dolly. I don't know. You know, it's got some wheels on her. It was rated for 1,000 pounds, and I figured the front half of this thing's probably around 1,000 pounds with nothing in it, maybe a little more, but you know, who cares? And we just got her sitting on there with a couple boards. I'm gonna back it out this weekend and power spray all this garbage out. The car also had it has a little bit of rust on this side, bottom of the strut tower, frame rail rust. That side was real bad, and my brother came over and kind of saved the day. I basically was considering throwing the car in the rolly dumpster that they come around and dump out on Thursdays, and you know, just buying a Corvette like I should have done to begin with. But we got her patched up, and she's stronger than it was. It's, I don't know what gauge steel that is, 16 or 18 or something. So yeah, we got that. What else here? I went ahead and pulled the rest of the AC crap off the car. Did a botched AC delete on it a few years ago, and still had the canister and all that crap. It's all gone. Oh, my other problem. Okay, so I was gonna LS swap the car, right? That was where I was. I'm gonna just walk around and look at my floor a lot for y'all. I was gonna LS swap the car and do a T56 because I still want the manual transmission. There's a lot of pedal bracketry garbage you got to do to make that work in these cars, which I wasn't looking forward to. And I can still use my old trusty rusty T45, which is fine. The trans is fine, and there's a lot of people running T45s, and they're okay, but it's not going to last forever. I'll probably blow it up pretty quick. But I was like, I can use my clutch, I can use my flywheel. My clutch and my flywheel are both fine. That'll save me, you know, $600, $700, $800 right there. Also, I can use my trans, which there's another $2,000 for a T56 and the brackets and stuff for the cross member. And I got a good deal on this motor. So on paper, I was going to come out way ahead with this bad boy. You know, and then my clutch I pull it apart and it's junk, and the flywheel is pretty well junk. I had it resurfaced at Shacklett's though, and it turned out okay, so I'm gonna run it. I didn't buy a new one. It's a Fidanza, lightweight steel. And so then another reason that I went with the Coyote is they sell the power by the hour alternator bracket and all that crap. It's like $700, right, to get the front of this motor ironed out, and you got to swap the timing cover and the pulleys and all that stuff. This is still a truck pulley and cover. But I was like, nah, man, screw that. I'll run one of those Dingo or whatever the heck it is, Blowfish Racing mounts to put my power steering on this side, and then I'll do my alternator over here in the stock truck location and just run a truck alternator, and everything should be shammy whammy. And I'll just have to run lines, and that's cool. But you know, the lines kind of nickel and dime me to death, man. I bet I've got $300 in various AN fittings for my rack. You know, I got a box of them somewhere. The lines, all this crap. And then what really grinds my gears, because I'm a lazy bum and it's hot, I don't want to pull the Hydro Boost off. So you got to basically pull this garbage out, and your lines connect like down in here on the bottom side of the Hydro Boost. You can't, I don't know, I haven't really messed with it. I might be able to get to without pulling the Hydro Boost, but I don't, the car's seat is impossible to get out, and I don't want to get under there and fiddle with all that. I guess I'm going to have to anyway, though, because I got to put a pedal bracket on it because the drive-by-wire and stuff. But so yeah, I guess if you're going to do this swap, just freaking get the dead gum power by the hour thing with that uses the stock lines and stuff, and then, you know, you can use your stock alternator, which I have, and I'm dumb. I didn't realize that truck alternators were $5,000. I could have just ran that POS right there with the power by the hour kit and just changed the alternator plug on the control pack. But I got, you know, whatever, I'll get through it. I might end up just selling all that crap and doing a power by the hour front end on it. I don't know. I don't want to change the timing cover and stuff either. I'd really like to just leave this alone and just drop it in the car, and you know, it's always something. Anyway, the car's not going to have AC, so I don't have to worry about that. The rest of this wiring, man, I don't know, man. it's going to be a bit of a zoo. I found this earlier. No idea what this is. Some sort of. It's never been used. It was, you know, old dry rot, real old stuff. This is just hanging out in there. Everything on the car worked before, so I don't know. This is the trans plug and the stock. Do you leave the stock computer in this car? I know you do. A lot of people do on new Edges because it runs the cluster and stuff, but I don't think it does on this one. But I don't know, man. So I got to do some readings and find out. You know, what do you do? What do you do? You know, I got my stock mass air and IAT here, and those. Wait, you pull this whole harness loose. Where does that go? I don't know. I could get into there and figure it out, but I'm not gonna because it's hot and I'm lazy, and you know, I can ask strangers on the internet and they'll tell me. So I'll do that. And I guess we'll leave this is the power distribution block for the car. So I guess I'll leave that. I'll probably just put the battery in the old trunkaroonie back there, or maybe I'll probably put it in the screwdriver. Look at that. I'll lose that guy. I'll be looking for this later. I'll probably put it in the passenger side rear floor in the box. You get the weight in front of the axle. Might help it handle a little better as opposed to swinging the tail end around out there, you know. So gotta figure that stuff out. I got a battery relocation kit somewheres that I've had forever that I've been meaning to utilize, and I just haven't. Oh, another dumb thing I did, I wouldn't recommend. When I picked the car up the first time with the hoist, you know, I hooked her up with chains, man. Look at that. Did a number on this guy, and about the same on the other side. Fortunately for me, the whole car is trash, so I don't really care. But you know, man, if you had a nice car, that would have made me sick. So what I did this go around, I took an old tow strap that a coworker of mine ran over when I was towing him on Briley. And you know, I just tied her up and looped her around the old bumper guys there, and she worked real nice. It's funny when you pick these cars up, they made the unibodies out of wet spaghetti noodles, so the whole car just, you know, you pick it up, it's like, and then it comes off the jack stands when you set it down. It's, you know, I don't know how the windows don't break out of this thing when you pick it up like that, but they might still. I don't want to speak too soonly. But yeah, man, that's what I got now. I guess I'll do another video and kind of compile some things together of what we got, how that looks when I get her spiffed up a little bit. It should look better. I was thinking about painting the whole engine bay, just finding some paint that looks good, but yeah, probably won't, because you know it's hot. And I don't want to. So that's where we're at now, boys and girls. We got some clutch dealies there, and forward. I would always put forward pilot bearings and throwout bearings in. I got a roller on this, which, you know, should be pretty smooth. Also, something interesting I didn't know. I found this out on the old interwebs. This is my stock clutch fork. The spring's garbage. But they had this humongous, look at this, rattle the whole workbench versus that guy. Big old huge weight on this, and apparently that's how they came from the factory, and it's supposed to make the clutch, you know, just feel a lot better when you push it in. So I think I'm gonna leave that on there, and you know, see how she works. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, buy you the right ARP hardware. Woo, buddy. Also, to remedy my, the reason I tore the car apart in the first place, header leaks, I got the, I'm just running the BBK gaskets, and then, these Stage 8 locking hardware clips, so they keep the bolt from, you know, loosening back up off the flange there. I'll be able to get to all of these really nicely, and, man, I'm so freaking excited to have it running, not to have a running and driving Coyote swap. I'm just really excited to have this car running with no exhaust leaks. It's been like It's never not had an exhaust leak. Basically, when I put it together, I was 18 the first time, and she ran 12 years basically, just spraying exhaust onto the hydro. And look at the black on the firewall. This back primary back here, you know, number, I don't know, whatever, 4 or whatever one that is, just all over everything. It's terrible. It sounded horrible. She's gonna sound good this go around, hopefully. If I can get it to run and not strip out my crankshaft and ruin my engine, you know, that's the key here. So, alrighty, well, that's all. I guess I'll quit rambling. Oh man, we're at 15 minutes. If you're still watching now, you're real interested, you know, so I'll leave it alone.